Brandon, how are you today?
Outstanding, Richie. How about yourself on this beautiful
Good.
morning?
I am so excited, Brandon, every time I see you. Let me tell you why. Because you are one of my special people. You're one of my top mentors. The reason I go on live and the reason I do videos and all these things, Brandon, is because of you. How much you've shown me, how much you've trained me. I am excited. Every time I see you, I get excited. You're like my pal. You're like my brother.
I'll take that. But the reason why it's worked for you, you listen. And that's what most people don't do. They don't listen and apply. And that's what you've done. And that's why you're reaping all these great benefits. And I'm glad to be part of it.
I'm blessed that I got the opportunity to meet you, Brandon. At that time, I didn't have a lot of people. I was going through some transitions, and I was blessed that you coached me, you trained me, you've made me into Richie. God bless you, Brandon. Every day I'm grateful for you.
I appreciate it with
Thank you.
all pleasures. We'll take it. We'll take it.
So, Brandon, I hear about this walk around that you do and competition walk around, okay? But I also hear out here because I'm now in Georgia. I have to be here for a year with this opportunity that I have and see what happens. But Brandon, I got to tell you something. I heard from a few folks already about this.
Oh, okay. Well, that's glad that we're doing that because it's something different this year. We've been doing it for 9 years. The Ellis family has allowed me to do it, but I also did it when I was at Asbury for 2 years for all of their platform cities, and the finals would be here in Atlanta because Asbury moved their headquarters from New York about 20 years ago now. But I originally started with DCH back up in Jersey, Perth Amboy. They gave me the first opportunity to do it. But yes, here now with Jim Ellis in Atlanta for our ninth year, we're going to do something that no one in the country is doing. It's going to be on Thursday, November the 6th, all local high school with their junior ROTC, with the colors, national anthem singer, band, cheerleaders. They bring the assignment, but we also let their media team get an opportunity to film it. So this way they can say they filmed something at a real business event. What we are doing is bringing all of our judges are going to be branches of the military. So the
Great.
Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, they'll be the judges. This way, we're out of it. What they see is going to be the winners of our certified pre-owned walk around. We are going to make it completely a community event because we're also going to be feeding the first responders. So all the Chambly police, firefighters, EMS, they'll be there too. This is a complete event. Why November the 6th? Well, you know as well as I do that on Tuesday, the 11th, everyone else will be celebrating. So we get a jump on everybody else. So the word has gotten out because we here at Jim Ellis work with a couple of organizations for veterans. The TNT organization, that Ton of the Towers that started up in New York City after 9/11, they built a home here this past August. Home Depot sponsored it, but we were part of it on the educational piece. We go to high schools and we teach them something about 9/11 so we can keep that memory going. Plus, we also have a direct link to veterans. Any veteran who would like to come in, we put them through our university, which is free. So we have veterans working on the variable side. We have veterans working on the fixed operation side. So we do believe in veterans. And I sent an invitation to you, Richie, because you have the only organization nationally that has something in Colorado where you also teach veterans. So maybe you can tell the people something about that and why you got started with that.
Well, Brandon, I got started with the veterans because we were four friends in kindergarten. Jose LaCour, Jose Gill, and Gus Rodriguez and Richie Bello. So we played G.I. Joe in my home a lot. So all three of them went to the military. It's kind of emotional, and I couldn't go. The reason I couldn't go is because I suffered from epilepsy at a very young age. Okay. Not just dyslexia, right? It's epilepsy. So I still signed up. I told Dad, they're not going to find out. Don't worry about it. If you don't tell, nobody's going to know. He says, well, what about when they test you? You got to disclose that. And my three friends went away. I communicate with them still. One got hurt, but I do communicate with them. And it was tough for me. And then my son said, I want to go to the military. So I kind of figured he goes to the military. I put it together. I reached out to my partners, and it was Look Smart and Michael Onhai, and we got a building, and the institute is well and alive in Arizona. So the building went through a few transitions. We read this, that, but it's still there. And what's interesting is that there's grants now available to Richie Bello Institute after 6, 7 years.
Okay.
Because I went to Queens College and I started educating, and they got their accredited organization. And it's not a community college, it's a state college, right? And you know about that. So what happened was I tied in with them, right? And I'm not an educator. I didn't go to school or nothing, but the head of continuing education, she says, what I like about you, Richie, is you got emotional intelligence. So you can record everything and then talk. So with digital marketing and technology, you know how I am, right? So that's my game. And then I teach these kids, right? And then I put this whole system together. Digital marketing companies, I put the intern program there. Why? Because throughout my career and throughout my life, I've met a lot of CPAs. I met a lot of people that went to school and couldn't get a job in what they said. Because, as a professional that you are as a trainer, there's theory and there's textbook, but it's not the same as putting it to work. So Richie didn't learn it from school. I did it from myself. I learned coding. I learned from these different academies online. And that's what I did. And way back when you were at Ford, I knew, but I didn't know that much. I only knew how to do WordPress and this, that, and I had a team. But today I do a lot of work and I love what I do.
Excellent.
And that's where I picked up the knowledge because I have that I can remember stuff. It's my memory. If you get the book, The Gift of Dyslexia, you understand what it is. So I have some people coming to the event.
Right.
I have my business partner, Tom Hearn. He was an educator like yourself. And he's been in the car business his whole life. Okay. Where did he get the knowledge? His father owned an Oldsmobile store. He knows me since I'm 24 or 25 years old. He was with the Nicholson Group.
Oh, yeah.
I went with the Nicholson Group as a junior consultant, travel here, travel there. Then the Nicholson Group got sold to Reynolds and Reynolds. And then Dr. John came in as a CEO of the Nicholson Group, did that deal. And then Dr. John had a company and put that company there too, PCS Global. And then Dr. John, what he did was he put a deal with Arlo Polk and Company, and that's where Polk Professional Services came up. And that's where I really learned data. Okay, from basically the guy that knows the company, knows the data, the only data company that was at the time today Cox Automotive is a big data company too. And I worked there in Southfield for quite some time, and I stayed in Southfield in and out to New York because, I had to take care of my wife, happy
Yeah,
wife, happy life. I didn't make
yeah,
her happy at all because she didn't want me to do that because she was an educator, she was a teacher. She wanted me to stay home and not travel. And I traveled a lot, back then. And, I like, doing that.
yeah.
So at that point, then I grew into this, but then there was a time where I was in a transition, I had problems, sometimes home problems and stuff like that. You're not really focused. Alcohol. I have, Brandon, just to let you know, I haven't had alcohol in 7 years.
There you go.
When you
Very
met
good.
me, I was always trash. You couldn't even
Yeah,
talk to me. So
yeah.
honestly, I've changed my life. I changed my lifestyle. I've lost a lot of weight. I keep fasting. I take a lot of vitamins, supplements.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I don't eat a lot. The older you get, the less you need to eat.
That's right. That's right.
So I've changed my life around a lot because I want to live. I got three beautiful kids. I got grandkids. So, I'm very,
Yeah,
very happy.
same here, but I'm glad you're happy. See,
And, with Gene Fontana, that's been like a blessing to me.
mhm,
And my other blessing is Lee Wolf, you
mhm.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
So the two folks that I have in my life, they're a blessing, and they're great. And it's interesting, Brandon, how the Jim Ellis organization is so well known here. I've asked a lot of people. I have a friend of mine named Jeff Cohen. He's going. He's bought cars from the Jim Ellis, and unbelievable. Now he wants another car from the Jim Ellis Group.
ah,
Okay,
outstanding.
so I invited him over, and me and him are partners with a company called Cell Power Sport.
Okay,
Okay, and we have the license agreement for the United States, and this is what I've been taking, and it's healthy wise. I'm 100%, but he wants to get a car, and I said, well, this is a perfect opportunity for you to come, and that's great. That way he can talk. I don't know what kind of car he wants, but he needs a car.
okay. Well,
He has a Discovery Rover, right?
yeah,
Range Rover, beautiful car. He came to dinner Sunday with me and Gene, and we had a nice time. It,
beautiful.
it was great. And the whole thing with I brought him because he needs a car and he wants to see the Jim Ellis Group, wants to meet you, wants to meet people. He's been a customer a long time. His dad's from here. Now he used to work for NBC as a
Oh,
marketer.
oh, really? Okay.
And then Ted Turner brought him to the company, and he's a brander. He's the one that branded a lot of stuff for Ted Turner. Ted
Uh-huh.
Turner's retired now,
Yeah,
he was a
yeah.
great guy. And he was very, very close to that family
Oh, yeah.
for decades and decades and decades. So he's coming on board,
Okay,
see the whole thing.
okay. Excellent.
Brandon,
So,
by the way, in your place, I'm going to give out 50 books. Okay.
oh,
My
okay.
book, the first page, is a suicide watch. You'll see it here on the stream. I'm sure you see it, right? That's the company I'm doing it. So I brought in my video guys,
Okay.
and they're going to do a video because when I give out those 50 books, I've already given out like maybe 75.
Hmm.
I'm going to cut a check right there to that organization because every dollar made, profits or nonprofits, that goes to the suicide. It is
Uh,
crazy, Brandon. And I'm going to tell you, you've been a director with this nonprofit and you've helped me tremendous. Okay. And we're looking forward to bringing you to this nonprofit. It's crazy, these veterans, how the suicide is
yeah,
killing them.
yeah. War is not a easy thing for people to go through. Even when the veterans come home, they may cheer a day or so, but then they're forgotten. Life goes on, but they still carry all of those images of what they actually did when they were in a live theater, and most people don't see that. Most people shouldn't see that. It is very traumatic for a human being to actually see another human being or human beings being destroyed in the end of their life. So we thank all of our veterans. Somebody has to do it. It was said years ago that if you want to have peace, you need to be prepared to defend it. And so I'm glad over our history as America, we found some brave men and women who'd be willing to make the ultimate cost so we can continue to do what we're doing right now. But I'm glad that you're supporting them just like we're supporting them. And the reason why we like the judges, and this year we'll have all the branches of the military along with you. So when is finished presenting their certified pre-owned presentation in front of you, when the vehicle is driven off and another one is placed on, takes about 3 4 minutes. Each judge I'll come to, and you'll get an opportunity to tell whatever story you want for the first three and for the second three. So hopefully you'll share that story or some of that to the rest of the people, because we are going to be streamlining this across the nation so everybody can hear it and hear your story and hear what you're doing with the veterans. That's why I wanted you to be there.
Thank you so much. And invite accepted. Gene Fontana is going to come with me. And I got a few people coming. I got some veterans coming too.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I'm so glad that you invited me.
Well, you were the first one that I thought about when I said, well, how am I going to have the judges this year? Because we've had everyone from entertainers to people who ran the aquarium to Chick-fil-A management. But this year I said, hey, let's give homage to the veterans. So we got the military branches represented along with your nonprofit to be the
I
judges.
got an important veteran coming. His name's Michael Stickland.
Ah,
All right. And Mercado, I sent out the invite. I'm sure that they're going to come. One accepted it. And what's interesting, he is a great business person. He is great at what he does, and he's got a brain and a half, and he's a vet.
okay.
And really a great guy. And I want to bring some vets there so they talk about what we do and why, like his company hired me as a marketing company. But one of the things is I give veterans tremendous discount. I almost give it away, and I go the extra mile for them. And these people are important to me. Why? Because he's a vet and he really knows what he's doing. Okay.
Excellent.
And we have a trainer in the automotive space that's a superstar. His name is Anthony Angola.
Yeah. No, Anthony.
Okay, Anthony is unbelievable what he's done, and he's a vet, never in the car business. So they were telling me when he started, this guy is not going to make it. They were talking about he's a vet. I said, you guys don't understand the process these people
Yeah.
have and
Yeah.
the discipline they have. And you know that I'm going to tell you something. I always said the worst thing a dealer does is promote that top salesman that does 35 or 40
Mhm.
and make him a manager. Me, I was the worst manager and I hated it. I like talking to people and selling, not being a manager.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
it was terrible, but I was the worst manager you can ever imagine. Okay.
Mm.
Just like I'm not the CEO, really, I am, but I have back end CEOs.
Ah, okay.
Okay, because I'm not that type of guy, but I'm more of a road guy, more of a go-getter. You know what I mean? That's who
Right.
I am. I'm not that
Right.
type of guy. And the same thing with just because you're in the car business your whole life doesn't mean that you're going to be a good trainer.
No, no, you're right. You're right.
Does that mean
Um,
that And you know that.
Mhm. Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
best trainers are those that understand the process and
Mhm.
understand the education because they know how to deliver the content.
That's it.
Because content is content, it's who's delivering it.
Uh, Ironically, I'm doing a class this week. So they were given some homework last night. So I'm excited to see who achieved and moved forward because that tells me about their ability to follow directions and always make sure that they're touching the desk because managers want to feed their families. But what gets me with some managers, and I'm glad you shared your story, good desk managers know how to structure and pencil a deal, but they forget the human capital that they hired, those salespeople. Part of their job is to make them successful.
Right.
And if I had a team of 8 or 10 people and all of them were selling 20 units or more, I can just sit back and relax. I got a good team.
Right.
But when you just have one or two and the other eight, you're always turning over and trying to find it, you're never going to hit the goals and dreams that you're looking for. Your people have to be successful. And I'll
That's
just tell you,
interesting.
I'll
That's
tell you
very interesting.
one thing quickly. I have a young man who just came out of high school last year because we work with the Georgia work-based learning. They go from high school to work. Last year, he was a senior in high school. He came to our free university. We worked with him. He's at our Honda dealership. He's been on the floor 4 months, salesman of the month. 18 units, 22 units, 28 units. Last month, 32 units. He's just 19 years old. If he does it for 2 more months, he's going to finance school. We promote from within. We're a family group. So here's a young man who
Wow.
sees a career. He called me last month and said, Mr. Hardison, I got all these taxes. What do I do with them? I said, boy, what a great problem to have at a young age. But put the money aside because you can't get our 401k yet, but put the money aside. So I'm very excited. He's leading the board again. We have a couple more days before the end of the month. And he will be top of the board again. So it does work when you know how to coach your people. So going back to what you said, the Anthonys of the world who know how to train, along with some of the other folks that I know, the Andy Elliott's and all that, they do a great job. The Brian
They do an
Maxwell,
amazing job.
yeah,
They do an
yeah,
amazing job. Veterans are one of the best folks there is. And I learned that when I first got the nonprofit, I was in Arizona, and there was a little training thing that I went to. And it was amazing how they follow structure, how they follow direction.
that's
And
it.
Penske BMW,
Mhm.
okay, in Scottsdale has a team
Yeah,
of vets, and they're great at it. You lower your marketing, you lower everything because it's a brotherhood. And
yeah.
belonging to that brotherhood, I'm blessed that I belong to the brotherhood. And I don't know what I did to deserve that, but I'm blessed. I mean, I got vets everywhere I go. I just make a phone call to Arizona, and those vets start communicating with others. And before you know it, I got a load of vets.
Outstanding.
We are blessed in such a way that it's not even funny. And, I reached out to my friend Amy from Soldier Angels, Amy Palmer, and she's trying to get there. She's
Okay.
got one of the most successful and the best nonprofits from the government perspective with grants, the most successful nonprofit for veterans,
Wow.
close
Beautiful.
to close to a Wounded Warrior. And let me
Oh
tell you
yeah.
why, because
Yeah.
she has disabled vets
Hmm.
and she puts them to work from home.
Yes. Yes.
She has such a success. She is herself a success story. My next book, okay, my life story, okay,
Hmm.
let me tell you something. Her organization, I'm going to donate that book to, because every book I donate on the first page to what the course is. I only do this for the veterans to donate for what I see fit to every single organization. This is why I do the books.
So are you telling me on Thursday, November 6th, are you going to have a table or do a podcast or something with all these guests coming in and whatnot?
Well, I got about 4 or 5 guests, and what I'm going to do is I have a video guy doing a recording, because I want to make sure that you have that video, because you're going to retire soon. I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure you're going to exit soon retirement. You've worked hard. Ford, I mean, I know you a long time, you've worked hard, so I'm sure you're going to retire soon and be, and relax, be with your kids, be with your wife. I'm sure you're going to do that. I'm ready to go too. I'm like 61 years old. At 65 or 66, Brandon, I'm out of Dodge. I've worked hard enough. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to give you that video because you're impressed me with your walk-arounds, with your knowledge, with how I've met a lot of trainers in my life. I've never met an educator that comes from the education industry into this business be as successful as you.
Mhm.
I've never seen it.
I
And
thank you.
that ability you have of speaking, the ability you have from the heart, the kind of heart you got, it's amazing. So I am glad that I got that opportunity with you.
Uh, you're too kind, Richie. I appreciate all of that. So,
Thank you. God bless you, Brandon. And we are happy that you invited us. Thank you.
I'll see you on Thursday, November the 6th.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Take care.